All right. Hello, my friends. Oh my goodness, it is so nice to be back live with you. I love being live with you because I get to talk directly to you, and that makes me so happy. Today, we are going to be trying out the Laura Lee Los Angeles Cat's Pajamas eyeshadow palette. Laura was kind enough to send this to me. Laura and I have become acquaintances on the edge of friends over the past year or so. We met at Generation Beauty in Los Angeles. I think we first met in New York. We did. I think we first met in New York, and then I saw her again in Los Angeles, I think. They all run together. I don't know. But we've kept in touch on social media, and she was nice enough to tell me that she was going to be willing to send this to me. Now, I did make sure to let her know that I am going to be doing an honest review of this, so make sure that's the same disclaimer I give to all companies that want to send me something. It's like, I'm going to be thorough, and I'm going to give an honest review. So she was fully aware of that, which to me shows that she has full faith in this product. I did try it out yesterday live on Periscope. That was the first time I used it, so if you're curious about that, you can go to my Twitter, which is Jen Loves Reviews, and you should be able to find a link to it there. You can also see check-ins that are still up, I believe, on Snapchat. If you want to see the check-ins from that look, I think you should still be able to find those there. I'm Jen Loves Reviews over on Snapchat as well. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I just want to go ahead and say hello to people that are here very quickly. Today is a no makeup day typically, but I do want to try this as much as possible before the full review on Friday is when I'm hoping that the full review will go live. I'm planning on filming it next Wednesday. I want to make sure I try it a lot of times before and really get a feel for this palette. So this is not a review video, it's just a live demo, so that you can kind of start forming some opinions about what you think based on my opinion. There are some other reviews. My friend Laura from Mrs. Lola Lynn did one, and I think there are a couple other ones up at this point, along with Laura's and Jeffrey's. I don't think Manny did one yet, but there's other reviews as well. Someone asked, Kara asked, where's this shirt from? This is a Michael Franti shirt. I love Michael Franti. If you don't know Michael Franti and Spearhead, happiest place on earth, happier than Disneyland, I'm telling you. Michael Franti concerts are amazing. But hello to everybody. Actually, let me scroll up and just say hi real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Connie got here first. Hello, Connie. Good to see you. Tabitha in the house. Purple Voodoo People. Hello, hello. Katie, hello. Good to see you. She said, Katie said, oh, glad I checked YouTube. I noticed you mentioned live chat on Snap yesterday. Yes, I did. Maxime, did I say that right? Maxime? Finally made it. Oh, I don't want to do that wrong. Finally made it to one of these in time. I'm super interested in seeing a review of this palette. Again, this is not a review. I just want to make sure I'm very, very clear on that. I'm still forming my opinions on this palette. Good morning to, are we still morning? No, we're good afternoon. Good afternoon to Rachel and to Lee, and to Cupcake and Mallory and Ja and Elise and CYR that's told me her name millions of times and I can't remember it apparently. Michelle, been loving your comments lately, and Lizzie and Christy, thank you so much for being here. And I think I saw Cassie's here too. Cassie Britton, thank you so much for being here. I am doing well, Tawny. How are you, my old friend? Oh my goodness, I haven't seen Tawny in forever. How you been, girlfriend? All right, let's go ahead and get started. Yesterday I used the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. Today we're going to use the Ulta Eye Primer. I like to use lots of different eye primers. I like to use no eye primer. I like to just really make sure I'm getting, you know, lots of information about how something works. So, do a little bit of Ulta Eye Primer. And I'm not doing a full face today. We're just going to do the Laura Lee palette. Now, you notice that the discoloration is not muted out on my lids. I'm doing that on purpose. We're not going to go the Shape Tape route today. I will do that eventually as a test, but not today. This is the palette. Oh, one thing before I get started, let me put my glasses back on. Let me show you the packaging. This is something really important I wanted to show you. So, hopefully you can hear me better, by the way. I bought a new microphone. I lost somehow. I misplaced my microphone that I had bought. I used it for like 2 weeks and then you know, so hopefully you can hear me better. Okay, so this is the little card that comes with it. It says Cat's Pajamas, drops Friday, October 13th, Laura Lee, Los Angeles. So I don't know if this is going to come in yours, but on here and also inside the box, there is a grammar error. It says Cat's Pajamas with an apostrophe S. I did let Laura know. I don't think there's anything she can do at this point with it, but it's also here. I know some people were really annoyed with that apostrophe. Just remember, it's just a mark. It is a mistake, but you know, everybody makes mistakes. mistakes, and we're all here to always be better, right? So in case you have trouble with that, like a lot of people do, what I used to teach my students is it's like a little hands, and it's possessive. I own you. You're mine. So it's the cat's pajamas. The pajamas belong to the cat. So it's an apostrophe because the cat owns the pajamas, but the pajamas don't own anything, so therefore there's no apostrophe. That's the way I used to teach it. So we used to practice it in a group. I go possessive, and they go possessive, and then I own you, you're mine, and that's the way I used to teach it. So in case that tricks you up, it tricks up a lot of people, that's the way I used to teach it. But anyway, so there are those in there. LauraLeeLosAngeles.com is going to be the only place that you can get this at this point. The outer packaging looks like this, and then the palette has the sparkles on the outside. We're going to go a little bit more into all of that and full swatches and everything in the full review. This is how the palette looks, and I was surprised to see that these were all really similar in tone. When I watched her video, it seemed like some might be lighter, but they are kind of all that medium to darker color here. There's a little bit more variation in tone here, where we've got kind of light, medium edging on dark, medium edging on dark, and then of course we've got the black here. So this really is a more deep kind of palette, a more smoky kind of palette. Not a lot of light looks to be created with this. It's going to be a darker palette, at least so far. Tiffany says, I love the hand possessive, your mind's so cute. I mean, that was after, you know, however many years of teaching, I figured that out, but you know, you learn little tricks along the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and start applying. And I'm also trying different kinds of brushes with this because I want to see what kinds of brushes work best. So if you see a brush and I'm using it and you don't feel like that's the right kind of brush to use, just know that I'm trying a lot of different kinds of brushes. So Bomb Diggity is the transition shade for me in here. It is the lightest one that's in here that I could use for a transition. Some people might prefer Cray Cray. I might use Cray Cray sometimes for a transition. And I'm just going to go ahead. Let me see if I can get a little closer so you can see. And we're going to apply, oh, I got some lash glue left over from yesterday. I just noticed right there. Oops. That is what it is. This is just an impromptu live stream. Let me see if I can get it off. There we go. I don't want to pull my lashes out. But it definitely has some nice blending ability. You do have to be gentle when you dig into the shadows. They're not like Lorac powdery, but they do kick up some powder. So just don't dig super hard into them if you do decide to get this, because that's one thing I'm noticing. Okay, so now that my transition is in, yesterday I used Scatterbrain as like part of it, and then I used Redonkulus, like part of it, like you know what it is. I used Scatterbrain and Redonkulus all over my lid. I think I'm going to go for a matte, no, because I want to show you the shimmers. Let's go, see this is where I'm kind of like, with the shade selection, I like a light look on my lid and there isn't a lot of light option. So maybe we'll do Scatterbrain all over the lid and we'll just kind of beef up the crease a bit. So I'll take Kooky, which I don't think I used yesterday, I can't remember, and we'll put that kind of above the crease a bit to kind of warm up the brow bone. So you can see there really isn't any patchiness, which is very nice. People are complaining about the price. Just so you know, with my calculations in my head that I had done, there'll be formal calculations in the full review. It's $2 per gram, which is about 50 to 80 cents less than Too Faced, which is one of the less expensive products for Sephora. There are 2-gram pans, which are pretty decent sized pans. So I personally feel like it's a good value because it's $2 per gram, which is good. Urban Decay hovers around the $3 per gram mark, and the new Too Faced Peach one was at $3 per gram. So it's definitely a fair price, I feel like, if the shadows are the same quality as the Sephora brand shadows. All right, let's go ahead and do a little brow bone because this is driving me nuts. This little sharp line up here, like clown line. See if hopefully I'm close enough. Now I'm noticing that the white is having a little bit of trouble blending, but it's just, you know, a little bit of trouble blending, but it might just be the brush I'm using. Like, see how you can't really see the white, how it just kind of disappears into the red? Like with the Kat Von D shadows, the white just kind of stays white, where this one blends in, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just what you're looking for. If you want that white to stay white, you probably want to try to keep it away from the other colors. Kenny says, but then again, she was involved in the process of making it, so I think her focus was on the making of it, not as much on the final product, which is understandable. I don't know. I don't know if she was more focused on the making of it rather than the final product. I would imagine she wouldn't want to release something without it being really good. I don't know. I'm going to do a little bit of inner corner real quick, and we'll beef that up if we can. But I feel like the white is a very soft white. It's not a super opaque white like the Kat Von D ones. Like if you got the Pastel Goth and the white in there, the white's like super opaque, where this one's a little softer. It's not quite as opaque when you put it on. Shirley says, nice to see you again. Are the colors comparable to ColourPop's I Think I Love You? I don't own that. I'm sorry, but you know what we're going to do for the full review is we'll try to compare these to some other shadows. I will try to do some dupes. Just kind of depends on the amount of time I have, because that really does take a super long time. But I do want to at least show you some dupes, if not all the dupes in my collection. I don't think I'm going to be able to do all of them like I did with the Jaclyn Hill, because that just took like a stupid amount of time. Oh, Jody's here. Hi, Jody. She says, I'm glad you're reviewing this, Jen. I feel like the other channels are either friends with her or afraid to be actually honest about its performance. You know, I would consider myself friends with her, but she knows that I'm going to be honest no matter what. And she knew that when she sent it. So I would hope that everybody would be honest no matter what. But I can understand the skepticism. I understand it. But I'm hoping everybody would be honest about it. I try to, you know, I don't know. But... You know you're going to get that from me. I can't speak for everybody else. I don't know everybody's heart, but I can definitely tell you I'm going to be honest about it. Okay, so Scatterbrain. Now this shade right here is kind of chunky. I don't know if you can see, but when I rub my finger in it, do you see the powder coming off of it? So you just have to be aware of that. This reminds me a lot of the formula of the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts Gold. It's also very chunky like this, where pieces of it kind of fall off. I don't know what the deal is, but this is definitely a different formula than the rest of the shadows in the palette. I'm going to try applying it with a brush all over my lid, and then if that doesn't work, we'll do with the we'll do it with the fingertip. So we'll just put that all over. And we're definitely not getting full opacity with the brush, but we're getting a nice light look. So if you're going for like a more light look, we're going to do the brush. Let's do the fingertip and see how much it beefs it up. And you can see, whoa, chunky's falling off, chunky's falling off. And again, with practice, I might get better at that. So if you want that full shiny pop fingertip, if you want something lighter, brush, it seems. But again, this is only the second time I've used it. I need a little more time before I give you full thoughts. I don't know, that's pretty crazy look. And let's just, since I did the other side, let's punch it with the fingertip. Lasting power with the Too Faced primer yesterday was fantastic. I still had just a little, they were pretty muddy by the 11-hour mark, but I definitely still had a little bit of separation of color by 11 hours. 9 hours, it still looked pretty good, but 11 hours, it was really starting to muddy together, which is not abnormal. Tam says, also people say $40 USD is priced high. I live in Canada. To me, $40 USD is super reasonable, because for me, $40 USD converted to Canadian, taxes, duties, shipping comes up to about $70 to $80. That seems like a lot. That seems very expensive, $70 to $80. But I don't know, because I'm not Canadian. Like, I don't know how that feels. You know, in every country, your money feels different, you know, as far as the number on it. Like when I went to Iceland, and it was, you know, it was $1 to every 100 krona, you know. So when they say something's 100 krona, that's nothing. You know what I mean? Because that's like $1 to us. So I don't know how that feels as far as being a Canadian, since I'm not Canadian. Glam Enough says that shimmery shade definitely looks gorge on. I do have some fallout, but that might be due to my application method. But I'm gonna play with it more, and I'll let you know if there's if that's a problem. I don't know if it's a problem yet, but there is fallout. Could you touch on the ingredients? I'm highly sensitive to talc. Let's see. Let me find the box. Mica based. Let's tell you the ingredients. So we have mica. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Trithylhexanoin, Trithylhexanoin. I don't know. Trithylhexanoin. I have seen that in other eyeshadow palettes, but I don't know how to pronounce that one. Boron nitride, silica, zinc stearate, ethylhexyl palmitate, synthetic flurphlogopite. No matter how much I learn these ingredients, there's always something that trips me up. Flurphlogopite, Phenoxyethanol, Capryl Glycol, Ethylhexlglycerin, Hexylene Glycol, Tocopherol, and Kaolin. That one I know how to pronounce. I'm still messing it up. Titanium dioxide, iron oxides, manganese violet, ferric ferrocyanide, and tin oxide. So the only pigment in there that is not lip safe is the ferric ferrocyanide. All the rest of those are lip safe. So yeah. So that's that. So it is mica based. There is no talc. So there you go. That's exciting. Hi, Summer. Can you put the ingredients in the description box of the video? Yes, I can. I'd be happy to, Summer. And if for some reason in 10 minutes after this video is not, has rendered, if for some reason it's not there, just put a little comment, Jen, ingredients, and I'll do it. I'll try to remember, but I'm editing What's Up in Makeup today, so I'm a little bit hyper-focused on that right now. Okay, so one thing I noticed about Jeffree Star's look with it, I didn't watch the whole video, I kind of scanned through it, was that he used Oddball up in the crease, and I really wasn't a fan of that black out in the crease. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of try to swirl it in the outer corner. I used it on my lower lash line yesterday, but I feel like up in the crease it may not be the best place for it. So I'm just going to stamp it. And see if I can keep it in that outer V. I almost wish she had put a very deep brown instead of the black, because I feel like the black really, I don't know if it fits with the rest of the shades. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to bring it too far up in my crease. But I mean, it's a nice black. On first swatch, it's a little bit gray, but on second swatch, it's nice. And it does it have a little bit of glitter in it? It might have a tiny bit of glitter, or it might just be like the fallout from other shadows in here. Hold it up real close. See if you can see. Let me pull it back a little just in case. Yeah, I don't really like what I just did at all. I'm not a fan of the black with these shadows. I think this would be a good black to use with other palettes, but it's not. Oh, I forgot I already put some on the other side. I like Laura, but I just can't get excited about these colors. I have so many palettes that look like this, and that's completely understandable. I totally get that point of view. I'm just not a fan of the black with the rest of the shades. But again, this is the second time I've used it, so maybe I'll be able to find a good use for it. See, it doesn't look as bad on that side when I just used a little tiny bit. It doesn't look as bad. Is glitter in the black? Is there glitter in the black color? I think there might be a tiny, 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 tiny bit, but it's definitely a matte. Yeah, I think there is a tiny bit of gold glitter in it, but it's very fine and it's very tiny. Unless somehow it just sprinkled on there. I'll have to ask Laura if there's actual intentional glitter in there. It looks like there is. For the full review, I'll have all of that. Larissa says, hi Jen, I'm always so happy when I manage to catch you live. You're so hardworking and honest, and I love your reviews. So down to earth and funny. Lots of love, love, love. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. All right, I'm going to try to cover this up a little bit with the In One Ear shade. Try to soften the black a little bit because I feel like it's too harsh. So I'm going to try to, whoa. Okay, not really happy about, well, I don't know, that's interesting. Well, no, that's not so bad. That's actually kind of pretty. This might make a really good, I'm saying hollow eye. It's not hollow. Is it when you do halo, not hollow. Sorry, I've been watching too much Simply Nailogical lately. Some got me on the hollow thing. It might make a really nice halo eye to do this, but I'm not going to do a halo today. I'm not feeling it today. But I definitely lightened up the black and made it a little less crazy looking. There we go. Kind of blend that up a little bit. Just a little. I'm going to bring a little bit of Out the Other to kind of mix in with that a little bit. but they are blending really nicely into each other. I do want to show you Scatterbrain and Redonkulus next to each other to show you, everybody's like, halo eye, Jen, halo eye. I know now. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. If I hadn't gotten it, that would have been really nice. You guys always help me. I appreciate it. Nobody's perfect. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I feel like I'm missing a little bit of gold in the inner corner, so I'm going to take a little brush and kind of pop it in the inner corner. I definitely see some fallout on my cheek, so I'm going to have to be careful of that next time. I wasn't super careful today. Just going to make sure I got that inner corner. Oh, you know why? It's because of the white that the gold kind of disappeared. But I want the gold all the way to the center there. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's do a little lower lash line, and then after that we'll do liner and mascara so that we can kind of see how it would look kind of finished. So I'm going to use Out the Other just on the lower lash line a bit. And please remember too, I am not a makeup artist, so this is just me with my personal makeup experience, but I am not formally trained in makeup, obviously, so, you know, just be aware of that. Okay, so we've got Out the Other, and I just realized I haven't used Quirky yet. I want to make sure I use that soon. And let's do a little bit of Redonkulus just so you can see it on the lower lash line down here. Whoa. Not a fan of what I just did. It's pretty, but it doesn't really go with the rest of the look. Let's put the orange on the bottom. At least I don't think it does. I don't know. It's not so bad. Once I get liner on, it'll probably look better. Jen, Laura did say there's glitter in the black, but it wouldn't show up once it's blended out. That's okay. Good. There we go. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I missed that for some reason. All right, let's do a little bit of liner. Shirley said, the good part of this palette from this and your snaps is the colors don't mud into each other, so that's a huge plus for me. Actually, speaking of that, thank you, Shirley, for reminding me. I want to do a little swatch of these because this is what I did yesterday, and I want to kind of show you Scatterbrain and Redonkulus next to each other. I'm going to swatch them directly next to each other and then kind of blend them into each other. Let me do another swatch of Scatterbrain here. Okay, so that's them next to each other, and then, hold on, let me kind of blend them into each other so you can kind of see what they look like on the eye together. Well, it's not exactly the same because of course your eye skin's different than your hand skin, but Megan says, she said she spent 2 years on this. I just don't know if I can believe it. It doesn't look like anything goes together. It's just so scattered, no color theme. You know what, Melissa, not Melissa, Megan, I might have to disagree with you on that. You have 100% right to your opinion on that. When I think of scattered, hold on a second, let me show you what I think of when I think of scattered. This right here, baby. This to me looks super scattered. Where I know Kat Von D's opinion of like this was supposed to look like stained glass. I'll give you full information on this, but it's supposed to look like stained glass, but as far as the colors being scattered in no particular theme, this is kind of what I think of. Kat's an amazing artist. She knows how to put colors together, and I'm really struggling with this so far because I just don't know how to put the colors together. I'm working on it though. I'm still testing this. Laura's palette jumped ahead of that one for review. But with this one, I mean, we're definitely going with a warm theme. These colors are very, very similar, and it's actually a critique of mine, something that I'm not a fan of this palette, that these are so close together in shade. These are also very close together in shade, so in my mind, there's only so many looks you can get out of this because the colors are so similar, because the theme is too strong for me. That's just my personal opinion, but again, you have absolute right to feel the way that you want to feel. I completely respect that, but for me, I feel like that's kind of the theme of it. And as far as it taking 2 years and not really, you know, like, you know, that you're not sure, it doesn't look like she spent 2 years on it. It's kind of hard to know without being there. So I don't know. I wasn't there. So I can't really speak to like how much effort she put into it because I wasn't there during it. She didn't let me know what she was doing. I found out when everybody else found out. I did know, no, I did find out everything when everybody else found out about it. But I can tell you it does take a long time to develop eyeshadows, and she did say she had to switch labs, which I'm sure was very expensive and very time consuming to start all over again with a new lab. So, that's just my opinion again. So, let's see. What does this say? Someone on Anna, hi Anna. Someone on Reddit rearranged the colors on the new Kat Von D palette and it makes more sense. I'll have to send you the pic. Oh my gosh, Anna, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Angela wants a full Saint and Sinner review. I will definitely work on that. I would love to. Tina says, I wanted a dark rich brown instead of the black. I agree. I feel like that would have been a little bit more usable, in my opinion, for what I am able to do in the palette. But I do like the way the black mixed with that burgundy, though. So maybe there's a way to use it. I have so much fallout on my cheeks from that gold. It's insane. So I need to be more aware next time. And if I can't avoid the fallout, I will definitely be letting you know. This is the M Cosmetics Felt Tip Liner. It is fantastic. I have to tell you, though, I like the NYX one just as much. And the NYX one's a lot cheaper, but if you want to try something from M Cosmetics, this is a wonderful liner. I don't think I'm going to do a wing today, because I'm just staying at my house and editing. And then we'll do, I wouldn't even put on mascara and stuff if I wasn't doing this with you guys. Oh no, it stopped scrolling. Okay. Oh, Jennifer says, yes, Anna, I want to see that too. I'll have to see if I can, if you link the Reddit thread for me, then maybe I can link it in the description for everybody else so they can see it. Because that's really very, very smart. Because somebody that understands that stuff probably did it. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. Not L'Oreal Voluminous. That's not true. This is the L'Oreal... Oh, yeah, it is. I thought it was Voluminous. Let's see. Mega says, $40 seems like a lot of colors that I have in other palettes. And that is something that you're going to have to decide, because I can completely see that this is something you have in other palettes. And you know what's funny? I think I told you guys a while back that I was thinking about doing my own makeup line. This was way before I heard about Laura. And I have notes in my phone for an eyeshadow palette about what colors I would want. And it's so funny because it's a warm palette. And everybody would have come back at me and been like, I already have all these shades. By the time it was able to be produced, it would probably have been so out of trend. I mean, when you start developing something, she started developing this if she started developing this 2 years ago, that was before the warm trend really hit, Oh, what did Paris say? Paris says, deeper skin tones cannot use those as transition colors. That is a really good point. And I think that would have been, but you know what you could use? You could use Out the Other. Most likely, maybe. As a guess, you might be able to use Out the Other. I don't know, that's a little bit of shimmer, never mind. Or Kooky, could you use Kooky? Let me swatch it with my finger. Could you use that as a transition? I don't know your personal skin tone, so it's hard for me to recommend. But I mean, it's not it's a burgundy, it's not a skin tone. I don't think. No, I wouldn't say that's probably a skin tone. For a brand just starting out from a YouTuber, this palette is too high. Even $5 cheaper would have made a difference. And I've heard that argument before, and I think it was Stephanie Nicole that addressed it with Natasha Denona. And what she had said was, you have to start at the price point that you plan on keeping. And as an example, the NYX palettes. The NYX palettes are $30, and people are freaking out because it's NYX. Why would you, buy a NYX palette for $30? I don't know why they're $30. I don't know why they're so expensive, but, you kind of have to start out at the price point that you want them to be at. And it really does depend on the price of the ingredients. I mean, I don't know, I think $2 per gram is really inexpensive. It's not as inexpensive as like Juvia's Place is cheaper. The Morphe palette by Jaclyn Hill is less per gram. But again, that was not again, because I haven't said it yet. But the Morphe palette that was by Jaclyn Hill was bought by Morphe. Like Morphe paid for all of that. Jaclyn, I'm assuming. I shouldn't say that they did, but I'm assuming that Jaclyn didn't put any money up front for the Morphe palette. based on what she said and what I've heard, that Morphe paid for it from the jump. So yeah, think about this. This is Laura investing her own money to make this, which I think is a little bit different. So price per gram. And also, aren't Morphe palettes, isn't there something Morphe that's China, where Laura made it in the United States? I think that's part of it too, but I can't remember if Morphe is all China in their labs. I can't remember. It's like out of my head right now. Patsy says, I just got my BoxyCharm yesterday, and what do you think of the Pure palette? So far, I am not a fan. I just got mascara on my thumb. Hold on a second. But I need to use it more before I fully review the Pure palette. I haven't used it enough, to be honest. I've used it twice. That's not enough. But so far, it's not doing it for me. But yeah, so this is the final look. Definitely not perfect. The eyes don't match perfectly. It's a little deeper on this side. I like this eye better than this eye. So that's the final look. And I do like the way it came out. The fallout's insane. But that may be my fault. But I feel like the colors blended really nicely. I didn't have a lot of patchiness. The gold, if you want it more poppy, the shimmer shades, you want to definitely pat it on with a fingertip. I haven't tried these wet yet. I'll have to let you know as far as the wet. Again, full review is coming. Let me see. Anything else anybody wants to know about this? It's been 30 minutes. That's kind of long, so I should probably cut this off. But I'll kind of wait a second, see if there's anything anybody else wants to know about this palette before I close it up. Yeah, my right side I definitely like better, Fiza. Veebs is not a fan of the palette design. I'll give you my thoughts on that in the full review. I do have some thoughts on why I like it just for Laura. If this was anybody but Laura, I would kind of be like, what the world? But there are things that I like about it because of what I know of her. Susan says, palettes are like underwear. We all have our favorites that change change by day and outfit. What's everyone's anticipated palette coming? If you want to have a continued conversation about any of this, you can go ahead and join the Facebook group, which is What's Up in Makeup. And if you search for What's Up in Makeup, you should be able to find it, or facebook.com/group/What's Up in Makeup. It does usually take a few days to get in because we get a lot of requests every day. But, and you got to make sure you answer the 3 questions if you want to get in. But yeah, that's a great place to discuss this stuff. Easily gotten though with another palette? Probably. It just depends on what you already own, because these are not uncommon shades. There's nothing in here to me that is super unique to this palette as far as the colors. But I don't know what you personally own. We all have a different collection, so you kind of have to decide that for yourself. But as far as the quality of the shadows, so far I'm good. The only thing that I'm like kind of on right now is the fallout from Scatterbrain, but that might have been my fault. So I'm not 100% on that yet. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. But I want to thank you so much for being here. We are having full chat tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to do my Generation Beauty haul, so hopefully you'll be here to tune in for that. I'm going to go ahead and go get editing for What's Up in Makeup. It's a super, super, super long show this week. It's over 30 minutes long because I was gone last week and it's the holidays and there's so much stuff. But Top News is really good. Got lots of really good stories for you in Top News especially, and lots of gift sets. So if you're looking for things that you want to ask people for as gifts, or if you're thinking about getting people gifts for the holidays, it's a great episode to tune into because there's tons of that in there. So again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you in a video very, very soon, tomorrow in fact. Bye.